Seems like every time I wake up, I find out that my very favorite thing, my video game hobby, is yet again being attacked. Oh, Microsoft. I don't even really like y'all that much, but come on, dude. Oh, I'm so tired. I need coffee so bad.
Now today, as far as coffee is concerned, I'm going to be a little bit lazier. While I did purchase coffee at my favorite coffee shop, I'm just going to go with Nespresso. And the reason for that is it's quick and easy. The first thing I wake up to is finding out that Xbox raised the prices on their consoles. Not like a little bit, not like 50, like what Lenovo did for the Lenovo Legion Go S. No, more than 50. $100. So the Xbox Series X is now $100 more, and the Xbox Series S, I don't think is 100. I'm not sure exactly, but that's more as well. And the problem with this whole situation is that's not a little bit of money. That is a ton of money, especially for a system that's been out for as long as it's been out. It has been out for, what, since 2020? Maybe, yeah, 2020. And now we're looking at the exact same system with the exact same amount of technology in it coming out in 2025, 5 years later. Sure, they upgraded a couple things. They added 2 terabytes, but they're increasing it by $100. Not just them. Lenovo, they're doing the same. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy. 2 pods gets the job done. Why 2? Because, again, I've slept very little. Is there enough water? Yeah, there's enough water. Take a look. It's kind of good looking, right? That kind of looks good. I mean, Nespresso's not the best, but it'll get the job done when you need it to. Now, before we get too far into this, I want this to be known. Like, I'm not going to sit here and just complain and badmouth Microsoft for that matter. I think this is more just a conversation around what's going on worldwide. We talked about it a little bit yesterday with 8BitDo, one of my favorite companies, no longer shipping to the United States, as well as Anbernic. But when I woke up this morning and saw that Xbox was raising the prices like they did, I was like, this is crazy. And then, of course, I go to Discord, one of the happiest places on earth. Genuinely, people are so great. And I was talking to them about, or reading rather, about this whole thing that's going on. And one of the most esteemed people in our group, his name's Historical Radish, he brings up, he's like, video games as a whole, it's just supposed to be a hobby that I was able to do. But now, I'm being priced out. I'm being pushed out. I'm looking at everything that's going on in the gaming space, with gaming prices going up and up and up. How am I supposed to keep this hobby going? I mean, I've talked about it before. We have backlogs. We've got plenty of things to do. And you know, what do? We go back, we look back at our backlog and we finally do that. But what if we don't want to? What if we're excited for Mario Kart World? What if we're excited for games that are coming out just to be priced out? Like, this is a really, really intense thing, especially when a lot of us look to gaming to actually pass the time, to get away from some of the craziness that's happening in the world. I don't know if this lighting's the best. You know, this is the downside to vlogging. It kind of gets a little bit crazy. I look to gaming to kind of decompress. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life. I have kids. I have a business that I'm trying to grow. I have this idea, this weird, untraditional way of doing things as a husband, as a man staying at home, working at home, but taking care of young children. The realities of potentially having to homeschool. All of these things clouding my mind. So what do I want to do at the end of the day? I want to go and I want to play some video games. When it comes to this price increase, I look at it, I go, okay, is this because there's a specific blanket amount of price that has been increased over the past, couple of months, weeks, whatever you want to call it? And it doesn't really match up, right? There's been numbers going back and forth, 150%, 300%, 100%, who knows? It's all over the place, but it doesn't match up because that buck doesn't get fully passed on to the consumer. So then why all of a sudden is Xbox like blanket across the board going, we're going to increase it by $100 and we're also going to increase all of our $70 to $80. I want to catch you before you get crazy. This is not Nintendo's fault. There's no way that this is Nintendo's fault. Are they still sleeping by chance? I hope they're still sleeping. I still got plenty of video and plenty of cleaning to do. It looks like one's in their bed and the other, yeah, they're both still sleeping. This isn't Nintendo's fault. People are going to be like, hey, see, Nintendo did it, now everyone else is raising their prices too. I think that it's an unfortunate coincidence in a lot of ways, and it is, if anything, rather than Nintendo's fault, it is an opportunity for maybe, just maybe, some of these companies to be like, okay, we have kind of been operating at a weird loss for a while, and also, this is kind of like, let's put on a different hat here, a little bit of conspiracy. I think that maybe, just maybe, this is a company's way of being like, Game Pass? Game Pass? Now, I'm not against Game Pass. I think Game Pass is fine. Right, dishwasher doesn't quite wash dishes the way I want it to. But what I don't like is I don't like companies, or a company rather, to kind of sneakily be like, hey, I know that you kind of are on the fence about our product. How about we make the very thing that you like to own, like maybe not even worth it? At this point, we're gonna have to actually start asking questions like, is this actually worth it? And then we start to be like, well, you know, maybe now this $22, $24, $30 a month subscription service that used to be like $15, mind you, is worth it. I mean, hey, look how much money they're saving us. Again, it seems scummy, it seems gross, it seems gnarly, but it's just the way it is. And this is the thing that I really feel with this Xbox push is happening. There's an opportunity for them to double, triple, quadruple down on the fact that nothing is an Xbox and everything is an Xbox. You don't need to buy our machines. Look, they're far too expensive. We'll just let you use Game Pass and use it on any device. It sounds like I'm being negative. I'm not trying to be negative. I just looked at my crock pot, which I thought I had started this morning, and it turns out all the chicken in there has gone bad. Because when I started at 9 a.m., it is now 2 p.m., haha, the crock pot's off. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, this was supposed to be dinner tonight. That is a lot of chicken. Oh, it doesn't smell that great. Now, as I said, I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just trying to look at the situation with a little bit of an as a matter of fact attitude. I would not have ever expected this to happen in the way that it's happening. Just like when I was laying on the floor, I was like, are you kidding me? Again with this stuff? This hobby is collaborative. This is community-based. We do things together. And so the fact that the very hobby that we're doing together is becoming more and more expensive and less accessible means that there's going to be less people to do it with. Something else that's happening more and more, and the discourse is quite negative. No, I'm positive. Now, these are incredible. These are maple pancake snaps from Trader Joe's. You see, Trader Joe's, when they have a bunch of products that are like expiring next month, they just give them to you. Now, I've always considered the whole, if you're gonna own nothing and you're gonna like it thing to be kind of silly. I've always thought that was something that was, I don't know, overblown. But now more than ever, I see it as a reality. As Xbox transitions to this more expensive price structure and pushing their Game Pass, we see that sales for Xboxes have been down, but their subscription service has increased, which seems to be kind of interesting in and of itself. But that doesn't surprise me, because this whole thing that's going on is to push that service. Now, I know this seems like I'm just really, really harping on it, and maybe I am. I find this whole thing to be happening very quickly. My excitement is for, of course, the Nintendo Switch. Xbox, I haven't touched an Xbox in a while, but I think that, this whole thing is just writing on the walls. This is the shift we're seeing. And it's not because games are $80. It's not because consoles are $700, $800, $900. It's that gaming as we see it is shifting. It's shifting away from a very, very accessible hobby to a somewhat luxury-based hobby, and it just feels different. It feels so different, and with this whole shift, it's going to remove more and more people from this. The good ones, the people who look to it to enjoy and to experience games very, very, I don't know, like nonchalantly. The console gamer is the casual gamer in a lot of ways, and yes, I got a PC, but I still find myself connecting with that experience because that's what I grew up on. And to see the console gaming space just really get so hard to get into, I mean, I would never even consider spending $700, $700 on an Xbox. That's a tough proposition, especially when you're starting to have to pay even more for additional accessories and their services. This just pushes people out, and that's the part for me that I'm realizing as I think more about it and see the whole trend of the industry move. Now, I don't know. I think that a lot of this has me thinking, what is this next generation gonna feel? How is it gonna feel? How are we gonna get through this as a gaming community? Someone posted in the Discord, are we gonna see a crash in the gaming space? I don't know if it's gonna get that bad. I think honestly what we're gonna experience is just this idea that I've already started talking about, which is we're gonna start having to make decisions. I don't know if thinking before we buy is the bad thing. I think that might be a good thing. I think that this is actually going to net positive. But the cost at the forefront is really, really challenging. The uncertainty there is also really challenging, especially when you pair that with a time outside of our hobby that is
exponentially more challenging and more grave, right? Outside of our hobby, we have real decisions to make, big decisions to make, what to buy, what not to buy, where to cut some of our hobby out so that we can afford different things for our family. Like, these things are real big decisions, and I don't want to diminish that from any of you guys. I feel it too, and I'm feeling it big time. When I woke up this morning to that, I was just like, this is nuts. This is genuinely a wild, wild thing. When your hobby starts to feel like it's pushing you out, that feels awful. So, I don't know. These are my thoughts for the day. I know this vlog wasn't as exciting as yesterday's was. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, because I'll tell you what, it was just as exciting, and if not more for me, because my kids were sleeping the whole time. I not only cleaned the kitchen, but I cleaned the living room. Now I have to rethink dinner plans because my crockpot situation was completely, thwarted, but we should still be able to have something delicious. We did have In-N-Out for lunch already, so that's kind of out the window. I'll have to figure that out. That's on me. For you guys, it's real simple. I just want you to play more and be kind. Later.